I'm very much happy to be here, and of course to be able to be a part of this great time we're going to have together. I want to guarantee you it's going to be a great time together. And I believe you've really enjoyed yourself. How many of you really, got something, great during the first section? How many people got something great? Or you learned something great and you wrote some stuff down, right? Yes. Okay, be ready to write more. Yeah. I want you to know something because everything that I'm going to talk about here today, you already know it. Everything. It's already part of you. It's already part of your system. It's already part of your value system, and that's why you are here. And my major responsibility here today is to confirm those things that you already know. You already know that you have greatness inside of you. And that's why you are here. And that's why you separated yourself from the chickens, from the pigeons. You know the pigeons? You know the ducks, right? If you look at the pigeons, the ducks, and the chickens, you can see that they are very, they look alike sometimes, the way they behave and the way they do things, right? Because you are eagles. And when you see an eagle can fly like 4 or 5 miles high in the sky. If an eagle will meet another bird there in the sky, it must be another eagle. Because they separate themselves. They don't flock. And that's why you are here. So I want you to congratulate yourself, congratulate someone. Just do that right now. Congratulate someone that thank you for coming. Good to meet you, good to meet you, good to meet you. I'm happy to meet you. Yeah, great. Yes.
Thank you for coming.
That's true.
Thank you for coming.
That's true. How many of us, or how many of you here today have some major goals? Some major goals that you really want to achieve? Something that you really want to achieve for yourself, for your organization? It's possible. It's possible. I've come to confirm it, that it's possible. Anything that you are thinking about right now is possible. Anything. I don't care. Anything. Now, my fear is this. Are you thinking small? Because it's possible. That's my fear. Shoot the moon. Even if you don't get to the moon, you fall among the stars. My fear is, are you thinking small? Or you are thinking big? Because it's possible. It's going to happen. We've heard that over and over again. I was just thinking in my heart when I was listening to Daniel about the mindset thing. It's possible. Anything that you can think about is possible. If you can think it, you can see it. And if you can see it, you can have it. So the greatest challenge that we have in our world today is one word. And that word is leadership. If something is going great somewhere, check the leadership. If something is not going great at all, check the leadership. If people are performing, check the leadership. If people are not performing, then check the leadership. Something is going on. Because everything rises and falls on leadership. Everything. What did I say? Everything. Everything. Everything rises and falls on leadership. Everything. Because nothing changes without leadership. Nothing happens without leadership. Nothing progresses without leadership. Nothing moves without leadership. If you see something moving somewhere, there is a mover. Someone is moving things. Nothing transforms without leadership. If a life is transformed, that's leadership. Neutral ground does not exist. You are either growing or you're dying. Neutral ground doesn't exist. So if you see someone that is growing, then know something is going on. If someone is not growing, then the person is dying. Everything rises and falls on leadership. And why are we seeing organizations failing? Why are we seeing teams failing? Why are we seeing people that we believe in, that we put in charge of other people, not performing? Why that teams are failing? Why that we are not achieving our goals that we have set for ourselves? Your personal goals, your family goals, your business goals, your organizational goals. Why? I'm going to share some deep thoughts with you today about leadership. There are 17 leadership development principles that I put together. It's in one of my books, The 17 Indisputable Laws of Greatness. That is a manual of leadership. I'm going to share just 5 of them with you here today. And I guarantee you at the end of this, you will see yourself in a different way. Because the purpose of this class is to introduce you to you. I know you've met a lot of people in your lives. You talk to people every day. And you know people's names, right? You know people's names. In fact, sir, do you know that some people, when they stand like this and they're talking about sports, and they are describing the players, they know when the guy started playing football. They will tell you the story. They will tell you everything about their life.
Yes.
But do you know what is shocking? They don't even know themselves. They've met a lot of people in their lives, but they've never met themselves. My question, have you met yourself? Do you know yourself? I've come to introduce you to you. It's very important to know you. Because when you know you, and when you meet you, I'm talking about the real you, you'll be afraid of yourself. You will be shocked. Like, is this really me? Wow, so I can do this. Wow, I can't believe this. Wow, this is amazing. Wow, I'm enjoying this. You know when the eagle is soaring in the sky? That's a habitat. That's where the eagle enjoys. And when there is troubles, when there are, when you see storms everywhere, you see the eagles soaring in the storm. That's what the eagle enjoys. That's leadership. Nobody brings you to an organization to come and create more problems. They bring you to the organization to solve problems. Leaders are problem solvers. And that's why you are there. The day you stop solving problems, and that day, they don't need your service anymore. If you are the owner of your organization, and you put someone to lead a team, the day the person stops solving problems, you don't need the services anymore. You have to let him go or let her go. Because leadership is problem solving. Nothing more, nothing less. And everything rises and falls on leadership. Nothing changes without leadership. Nothing transforms without leadership. Nothing begins without leadership. Nothing moves without leadership. And look at this. An army of sheep led by a lion will always defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. That's right. And the key thing there is leadership. Who is leading? Who is in charge? You know, leadership is so challenging today that many people are confused about the word leadership. And everybody is feeling like, no. You know, when you invite people to a workshop like this, and you say, we have a leadership workshop, we have a leadership conference, and we want you to come to this event. And they say, no, it's for them. It's not for me. You know why? Because they can't see themselves as leaders. So they believe it's for them. It's not for me. When you see yourself as a leader, when you know the real you, and when you hear leadership workshop, yes, that's where it should be. Because that's me right there. Because you can see yourself. And that's a big deal. I meet people every day. I'm into people business. And you know what? When people start talking, the first 3 minutes, I can describe, okay, the way you think. Because the moment you open your mouth, the world will know the way you think. Leadership. An army of sheep led by a lion will always defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. Because that one lion can transform the whole sheep and turn them to lions. All of them. And that is why I don't care in your organization or maybe in your team, and you have some people that they are not really performing the way they should perform. That's when your work starts. You can transform those people and turn them to what you want. Because you are in charge, you are the lion. It's possible. It's possible. I'm convinced about that. It's possible. And looking at everybody that is here today, you know, I'm looking at these beautiful faces. I want to tell you something. That you have greatness within you. Even sometimes, we doubt ourselves. I've doubted myself a lot of times. You know, I remember when I wrote my second book, when my father passed away, 3 years ago, 2015. And before he died, 4 months before he died, we had a conversation. We're just talking, and I showed him the manuscript of the book. I said that this is the manuscript. And when he read the manuscript, he called me. He said, Wale, I knew it was a serious meeting because I saw it in his face. I was like, Dad, I hope everything is fine. He said, yeah, but I wanted to write. I loved writing. Like 25 years ago, I gave up because, things just happened. And, thank you for doing this. Please don't stop. I wanted to do this. He died 4 months after that conversation. And I looked back at that conversation. I said, those books that came with him, he never released them to the world. The talents, the potentials, the passion, everything that came with him, he never released them. He went back with those things. We need those things here. I have a question for you. What talent? What passion? What potential? What strengths do you have right now that you have neglected, that you have never used? My fear is this. When are you going to start using those talents, those passions, things you've been talking about? I'm going to start. I'm going to start. You said it 10 years ago. I'm going to start. You said it 5 years ago. I'm going to start. You said it yesterday. When are you going to start? When? But this is a big step. You are here. Let me show you something. The first thing I'm going to share with you is what I call the law of green thinking. I want you to write it down and never forget this. The law of green thinking. You know, Daniel was talking about the unbreakable laws, the principles that they are natural, they are divine. You just have to study them. There is nothing we can do about this, because when you study them and you understand them, you know what happens? Your life will be in shape. You will be transformed, because leadership is first private before it becomes public. Let me say that again. Leadership is first private before it becomes public. If you don't lead yourself, you cannot lead other people. It starts from you. The most important person is you, not your team, not your organization. Because everything around you rises and falls on you. So if you are growing, things around you are growing. If you are not growing, things are not growing. So blame nobody for things that are going on. Have a private meeting with yourself. Let me say that again. Have a private meeting with yourself. Now look into yourself. It's just you in this meeting. You know, see the board members. It's still you. You see everybody. It's still you. The chairman of this meeting is you. How do you see yourself? What's your self-image? Your self-image determines your self-esteem. How you see yourself, how you describe yourself, determines how you feel about yourself. That's your self-esteem. How you feel about yourself determines how you value yourself, your self-worth. And how you value yourself determines your self-respect. And that's your concept. You know, many people are living the world today with other people's concepts. What people told them that they could do, and what people also told them that they couldn't do, and they believed it. So what concept are you living? Is it your concept or what other people's concepts? So we need to differentiate that. What concept? Les Brown said, someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. I love that. What people call you is not you. See, when you know yourself, then you know exactly what you represent. And when you know what you represent, then automatically you know what you don't represent.
Amen.
When you know yourself, you know who you are, so you know who you are not. So when they say things that you are not, you know that's not me. I know, thank you, that's not me. Because you know yourself. And when you carry yourself, because of the self-esteem, the high self-esteem, the way you see yourself, the way you feel about yourself, and you carry yourself, and, you know, when a leader walks into the room, there's always a difference. The leader doesn't need to talk. Just sit down. And everything changes. And you see people moving. Just to listen, you know, they want to adjust things because you're around. The leader doesn't need to talk. Not all managers are leaders. But all leaders are good managers. Not all managers are leaders. I see people confusing that all the time. I'm a manager. Yeah, that's fine. You are in charge of a team. So are you controlling them or you are manipulating them? That's not leadership. I see people manipulating people, controlling people every day, and they say, I am the leader here. No, you don't need to announce yourself. We know already. Real leaders don't announce themselves. Because the responsibility of a leader is to produce other leaders. That's why you are there. It's to produce and to make other leaders. They don't make announcements. Hey guys, I'm in charge here. Everybody sit down. Hey, you go get me some coffee. Leadership. Thoughts become things. How many of you know the lion? The lion. I love going to the zoo. San Antonio Zoo. I've been there many times. You know when I go there? I tell people I want to go and hang out with my friend. And they wonder, who is your friend? I said, the lion. I said, oh, really? I said, yeah. It's my guy there. I'm going to shock you with something about this guy, my good friend. The lion is not the smartest in the jungle. The lion is not the biggest in the jungle. The lion is not the most intelligent in the jungle. The lion is not the bravest in the jungle. The lion is not the longest in the jungle. The lion is not the heaviest in the jungle. In fact, the lion is not the most powerful in the jungle. But the lion is the king of the jungle. What makes this small cat be the king? Say, this made me to research on this guy like, no, you just have to be my friend. What makes you the king? The lion doesn't care how big you are. What makes the lion the king? One word. Attitude. Attitude makes the lion the king of the jungle. You don't need to be the smartest in your group. You don't need to be the most intelligent in your group. You don't need to be the most educated in your group. You don't need to be the most powerful in your group. You don't need to be the tallest in your group. You know my height. What makes you a leader is your attitude. Attitude is more important than facts. All those things are facts. I'm the most educated. I'm the most intelligent. I'm the smartest. I'm the heaviest. I'm this. I'm that. No. Attitude is more important than facts. What makes you a leader is your attitude. When a lion meets an elephant in the jungle, something happens. An elephant thinks, I'm finished. Death. Trouble. Oh my God. What am I going to do now? It's trying to figure it out. But when the lion meets the elephant, oh, lunch. He thinks lunch. What makes this guy to think lunch? What? Because of the way he sees himself, that I am in charge. I am the lion. Because of the self-image, because of the way he sees himself, and the way he feels about himself, that yes, this is my lunch. And I can turn this big guy to lunch. I can bring him down and hit him. Now, what makes the lion, the elephant, to think death? Can you imagine how powerful that guy is? Just one foot like this on the lion. The lion is dead. But what makes that elephant to think death? Is the way he thinks. The elephant is like 10 times more, bigger than the lion. 10 times, more than 10 times. Probably 30 or 40 times heavier than the lion. But the strength, the ability, the power, and everything that the elephant has is trapped in his mentality. No matter how powerful you are, how intelligent you are, how educated you are, your mentality can bring you down, can make you to see yourself as nobody. More than 7.6 billion people in the world today, everyone is a leader. Everyone. You know, I say that every time and people look at me, how do you mean? How can you say everyone is a leader? There is going to be a follower. I say, okay. Then that's why you need to sign off and come to this kind of workshop. Everyone is a leader. Everyone. Then how did I know that? Because everyone is important. And everyone is valuable. And everyone is unique. And everyone has something. Please, what's your name, please? Jaggy. You have something that I don't have. You have something that I need, Jaggy. You have something that is important to me. You have something that is important to your organization. You have something that is important to the world.
Amen.
My question is this. Are you going to release it? Are you going to deprive me from what you got? Are you going to deprive the world from what you have in you? When are you going to start releasing those things? And if you have started releasing those things, how do you want to improve? To move from the level where you are to the next level. Even if you fail, no worries. Leaders see failure as an opportunity to do it more intelligently. They see failure as an opportunity to do it again more intelligently. All right, now I know how it's not going to work. Now I know what is not working. Now we've tried it, we've tried that. It didn't work. Now we know that we need to do it in a different way. Now we need to stop this method. Do you know that Thomas Edison failed 9,999 times before he invented the incandescent bulb? When this guy already failed 5,000 times, his lab attendant came to him and said, "Sir, we had already failed 5,000 times. It's time to stop." The guy said, "No. Now we have 5,000 reasons why it won't work. Now let's move forward, because now we are closer to the answer compared to when we started. Let's keep moving." Abraham Lincoln said, "Success is moving from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm." Keep moving from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. That's one key quote that you're supposed to write down. Moving from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm, without losing your passion. Many people have given up on themselves. So how do you expect people around you to react? Because you have already given up on yourself. And it's going to reflect in the way you feel about yourself. Because failure, say, put it down. I want you to write it down. We have two types of failure. Two types. Number one is failure as a person. Number two is failure as an event. Whatever that you're doing, let's say you are working on a project and you fail on that project. You have not failed. The project failed. The event is the project, not you. But the moment you accept it, you personalize it and you internalize it like, "Oh, he failed. And I failed." And you give up. Then now you have failed. But if you separate yourself from the project, this is the event. This event failed. No, I am not a failure. I am a success. That's the way you see yourself. Now you look into that event and you reevaluate the event. Then you do it in a better way. And you turn that failure to success, because you are a bundle of success and you can transform things. So it's important for us to separate those two. Failure as an event and failure as a person. Very important. Let's look at this guy. Can you see my friend there? Who thinks lunch? Can you see what they're doing there? That's the big dream. The small cat sees the big dream and it says, I'm going to bring you down. And can you see the strategies? And that's what we are doing here. You are telling yourself a new story. You are reconstructing your mind. That's teamwork right there with strategy. Do you know that when the lion sees the elephant, one of them comes from this side, another one from that side, and you see them walking like this, trying to see when to attack. They have strategies. Yeah. And before you know it, you see one jumps on the elephant. Another one attacking from one side. Can you see that? One coming from here. That's strategy on that big dream right there. The same thing applies to your life, to your organization, to your team. What kind of strategy are you following? What kind of strategy? Are you still doing it the same way and you are expecting different results? That's insanity. It's the same thing you're doing every time. I want you to go and watch the life of this guy. This is my good friend, right? Go and see the strategies, how they attack. Nat Geo is one of my best channels, when I want to relax. Instead of listening to all the negative things going in the world, I study my guy. And I look at his strategies. Look at strategies to change your life. I grew up in a family whereby everything that I heard around me, was all about poor. People. The only time, I knew about, money, or maybe someone, is rich, that was when I actually went out, to work with some people. And the first person I met, when I met the person driving a nice car, I grew up in a place called Ilesha, I don't know, do you know how to pronounce that? Ilesha, in Osun State, in Nigeria. That was where I was born. And then when I was growing up, and I was like, what was going on? Because I thought everything was like that. I thought I was nobody. I was not even thinking about anything. I was just living day by day how things were coming. I didn't even see myself. I couldn't even see the world. I was blind. I was not thinking. My thinking was like this guy, this big guy. And I was just walking around as if, and I was expecting nothing. No expectations. But one day, I read a book, Why Ask Why, written by John Mason. And everything changed. A book. There is a book written for you. There is a book written because of you. And you need to keep reading until you meet that book. There is a page that you will be stuck to. And you don't want to leave that page. Because you can see yourself in that page. I know many of us, we have many books that we have never opened. Is that right? Many books, right? That we have never opened. I know that I ask people, do you read books? Yeah, I have many books. And have you opened them? All right. So the second one is, the second principle, the leadership principle I want to share with you is the law of possibility. Now, that is one thing you need to first do for you to obey this principle. You need to first disbelieve the impossible. When you disbelieve the impossible, then you will develop a resolute belief for the possible. The first thing that you need to do is to disbelieve the impossible. To disconnect yourself from that word, impossibility. Then you will develop a new belief that is possible. Because that is true. It's possible. When I ask you a question and you tell me it's not going to work, no, tell me you don't have the answer. While he asks the next person. And then I come to you, sir. What's the name, sir? Sorry? Kevin. Then I come back to Kevin. Kevin, do you have the answer? Kevin says, I think I can give you some ideas, but I'm not sure it's going to be possible. Oh, then I leave you. You don't tell me it's not possible, Kevin. Tell me, no, I don't have the answer. Someone else's does. It's possible. Because I don't know something does not mean the answer does not exist. It exists somewhere. Then I have to keep searching. Because it's possible. When someone tells you that you cannot meet your financial goals and you write that big number and people look at it and say, Ooh, you? This? Ooh, in this world? Yeah, it's possible.
It is.
It's possible. Can happen. Now, I don't know. You know, the first level, the first step, disbelieve the impossible. Then you will have a resolute belief for the possible. Many things happen in the world that people believed that was not possible. You say that? The world believed that until May 6, 1954, it was a universal belief that human being does not have the human capacity to run the 4-minute man. That means human being does not have the power, the ability to run a mile in 4 minutes. This guy came on board, Roger Bannister. He said, hey, no. He trained himself. And he changed the universal belief. The universal belief. It turned things around in one day, May 6, 1954. He said it's possible. And do you know the interesting thing? Thousands of people, including high school kids, they've done the same thing. Why? Because they knew that someone did it. And now they have a new belief that this thing is possible. Then everybody now is doing it. Will you be the first person to make it happen? Will you be the first person to make that move, to share that idea in your team? Are you waiting for someone to talk before you? When that thing burns in you every day, you can see that thing, that this thing must change, but you feel like, no, I'm okay. But you cry in your heart. You want to see that change in your team. You want to see that change in your organization, in your life, in your family. You want to see that change in the world. Then can you be that person? Yes, it's possible. That's right, it's possible. If you can think it, you can have it. Why? Because possible. Let's look at another crazy belief. Drill for oil? You mean drill into the ground to try and find oil? You're crazy. It's not going to happen. What are you talking about? We all know what's going on around the world right now. It's possible. Let's look at another one. Airplanes are interesting toys, but of no military value. They're just interesting toys. The concept is interesting. Oh, I love it so much. Very interesting concept. Oh, the guy said, a professor, of course. You see the professor now. You know, it happened in Yale University. He said, well informed, but in order to earn better than a C, the idea must be feasible. Who says so? Talk to this guy, the founder of Express Cup. Said, no, I love the idea, but it's not going to work. And we know what? And now we have the reality. It's possible. What is that thing that people have told you that you cannot do? What is that thing that people have told you that is not going to work? And what is that story that you have told yourself? See, what people are telling you is not even important. See, the dangerous thing is what you are telling yourself. What story are you telling yourself every day? I tell people every time on my program, I tell them, divorce your negative stories. Sign a date of divorce to your negative story. Get away from it. Because every day we are telling ourselves stories. How are you getting those stories? From the things you hear, from the things you see. Let me say this. Everything that you see and hear over a period of time will enter your heart. And anything that has entered your heart has entered your life. I'm going to say it again. Anything that you hear or see over a period of time, you know, you heard Daniel when Daniel was telling you that you should do it for 30 days, right? Okay. Over a period of time, you are forming the habit. I don't care whatever, negative or positive. And when, you see, anything that has entered your heart has entered your life. And you start telling yourself those stories. If there are positive things, you start telling yourself those stories. And if there are negative things, you continue telling yourself those stories. And you believe in them to an extent that you will be so bold to tell people it can't work. Because that's your self-concept. That's your philosophy. That's how you see it. What story are you telling yourself? The next principle. Are we getting something?
Yes.
I want to say thank you, to all our online viewers. Very important. We value you. And I want you to also believe in yourself. It's possible. Your dreams, your goals, everything you have in your heart right now is possible. That's true. The next principle is the law of passion. The law of passion. The law of passion, so simple. You get the best out of life when you are positioned in your zone, in your area of strong thirst. You get the best out of life. Now, the key word in this principle is positioning. That's the key word. Positioning. That's the key word there. The moment you are well positioned, then you are on your way to greatness. Because it's possible. In Africa, the word kingdom, I'm familiar with the word kingdom because we have kings. And does anybody know some things about kingdoms? Kingdoms, like you have a king in the kingdom, and you have a group of people, respecting the king. Saying, that is the way we say it. You prostrate to greet the king in Africa. That's the way it works, right? Has anybody experienced that before? You've seen that, or you've heard about it, or you've read about it. You read about it, but you've not experienced it. Now, in the kingdom, the king, when the king has a boy, the boy is called the prince. The prince grows to become a king. Now, the prince is a potential king, right? So when you have a prince in the kingdom, then you know that you have a potential king. And the king celebrates. Now I have a king that is going to take after me. All right? Now, let's say this prince that is a potential king leaves his kingdom and goes to another person's kingdom. Now, this is how it works. If you are not in your kingdom, that's the way it works in Africa. You cannot become a king in someone else's kingdom. You must be in your own kingdom. So this prince leaves his own kingdom and goes to another person's kingdom. And now he's working hard, doing everything that he could do. Yes, I'm a prince. I'm a potential king. How? And you're doing, this prince doing everything possible. Sweating, working hard, waking up very early in the morning, and they're going to bed late, doing everything humanly possible, dreaming to become a king. Should I shock you with something? This prince will never become a king because he's nowhere positioned. This king needs to relocate, go back to his kingdom where he needs to be. That's his place. No matter what the prince does, the prince will never become a king. Positioning is the key word when it comes to passion. What's your passion? Are you well placed where you are right now? Are you passionate about you? And are you passionate about what you give out? Do you give it out and you're crying? What you're doing right now, are you passionate about it? Your passion is your key to your leadership. Even when you want to give up, something wakes you up from your inside. It's called passion. It wakes you up. When I'm writing, I forget food. When I'm coaching, I forget food. Because that's me. See, It's when I am done, that's when I remember that, oh my God, I think I need to eat. I need to eat something. I know Daniel can, because we've talked about a lot of things, and I know he goes through that every time as well. Because I want to get this done. What are you passionate about? My question, what makes you sing? What makes you sing? What is that thing that you just love doing? What is that thing that you just love, you just want to see happen? What is that person that inspires you? Is it your CEO that does something that you just love, that you just want to also be like that person? Who is that person that inspires you? What makes you sing? What is that change that you want to see in your life, in your organization, in your family, in your team? What is that thing that makes you sing? That when you see that thing, you feel happy. Who? What is that thing?
You do.
Thank you, sir. What is that thing? Thank you, Daniel. You know, there was a time I was having a conversation with Daniel. You know, I love him so much, even more than what he knows. You know, sometimes we're having a conversation, we say, Daniel, you know, sometimes I just feel like I don't want to talk. I say, Wale, hey, come on, talk. Hey, come on, talk. You have greatness within you. I say, thank you for reminding me. Yes. See, everyone needs an encourager, no matter how strong you are. If you think that you are just there, oh, I'm in charge, so everybody just, you know, be there, I'm here. Everyone needs an encourager. Tell me someone that doesn't need one. I've never met one. So you need an encourager. Thank you, Daniel. What makes you sing? Next one. What makes you cry? There is something right now in your organization, in your personal life, in your team, in your career, in your family that makes you cry. I'm going to tell you why. Every day that you see that thing, your heart beats. Every day, every time you see that thing. And that thing could be, you just want to have a change in something that is going on. You just want something to change. What makes you cry? What's that thing? Something makes you cry. That is one of the keys to your passion. The way you see it is not the way I will see it. Two of us can be in the same situation and not see the same thing. I will tell you how. Look at this. Okay. Oh, I didn't plan to use this, but I have to, because I need to show you this. Okay. All right, let's see this. Very interesting. What is this? What can we see? A number. But what is that number? 3. Thank you, sir. Because you are standing here, right? If someone is standing here, what do you think the person will see? Standing here. Still the same number. What would the person see? Letter he. Thank you. If someone is standing here, we'll see he. If someone is standing here, we'll see what? Here. Ham. Thank you, sir. If someone is standing here, we'll see what? What you see and where you stand determines what you see. So because you are seeing a problem does not mean I'm going to see the problem. Because the problem connects to your heart and you are so passionate about this, you want to see that change, does not mean everybody else is seeing it. Because of where they are standing. You know why? Because we have different experiences in life. We grew up not the same way. And we don't have the same knowledge. We don't have the same capacity. Everyone has an ability, but not the same. But everyone does have one. So where you stand determines what you see. So what makes you cry? What makes you dream? What change do you want to see? What change do you want to see in your life? I remember, in Nigeria, when you graduate your first degree, the first thing you do is mandatory. It's very compulsory. You must serve your nation for 1 year. We call it National Youth Service Corps. It's called NYSC. Does anybody have an idea of that? It's called, oh, you've heard it, sir, before. You've heard about it. It's called NYSC. You must serve. So I went before I was posted, because I'm from Southwest, and I was about to be posted to the North, where I was never there. And I told my younger sister, I said, Wumi, you know what? I'm going out there. I want to be the best in that state during my service. Someone is going to be the best, right? Like 3,000 people will be sent there to go and add value to people, because the reason, the purpose of this service is to add value to that community. I said, I'm going there. More than 3,000 people will be sent there to that state, to that community. Someone will be the best. Why not me? Then she look at me and say, you are crazy, brother. You're always like that. Just crazy. I said, oh, okay. All right, I said it. Then I went to work. Because I understand what makes me sing, what makes me cry. Then I focus on those things. When I got there, I saw the problems. And I remember what I said. Leaders are problem solvers. I didn't even know I was doing that, because that is my area of positioning. I'm well positioned in my area of passion. And I wanted to see people better. I want to see lives change. And I focus on these people. And I was just building a lot of projects in this community. You know what happened? It happened. It happened. I was shocked when I saw the letter from the community. Congratulations, we just love you. Everybody knew how to pronounce my name. I didn't even teach them. Because they were telling themselves. It was so interesting. I got the best in the community, got the best in the state, and the state offered me a job. I said, thank you. I didn't even take the job. I said, thank you. Because I knew why I went there. I wasn't there to get a job. And that's why it's important for you to know why you are at that place where you are right now. I knew why I was there, not to be working there. And I left. And I was working in the city of Lagos in Nigeria one day, and I got a phone call. You know what happened? It was a call from the presidency. It was a national award. And I was like, okay, thank you. And I never saw that I would be one of the selected best in the nation. And I got that presidential handshake. It was cool to have a dinner with the president. But do you know the most important thing here? I saw it before it happened. And I said it before it happened. And after saying it, then I went to work. I was not just sleeping. What can you see? What can you see about your life? What can you see about your organization? What can you see about your family? Your family. Why not? What can you see? Have you limited yourself because of your mentality? You know that the power of the elephant is trapped in the mentality because of the way he sees himself. And that's why the lion turns the elephant to launch every time. Can you see that big dream like the elephant? Like the lion, and turn that big elephant to launch? What can you see? If you can see it, you can get it. If you can see it, you can get it. What change eats your heart the most where you are? It's a big question. Jeff, he was an American business tycoon, an investor. Once said something, he said, one of the hugest mistakes people make is that they try to force an interest on themselves. You don't choose your passions choose you. Because it's inbuilt. It's inbuilt. It's in you. And I know a lot of people will be looking for what is not lost. They are looking for that thing that is already in them. They are traveling north, west, south, east for what is in them. And that is why I want you to meet yourself. If it's that one thing I can achieve today, I'm fulfilled. If you can meet yourself. And when you meet yourself, help other people to meet themselves as well. Because you are not successful until you help other people to be successful. The major responsibility of a leader is to produce other leaders. Leaders are different from managers because leaders turn things upside down. They don't care to start again from the beginning because of what they can see. Managers maintain things. They do what they are told to do. They can't turn it upside down. That's a big difference. When you see a manager that has developed him or herself to a leader, you will see how the manager responds to situations. We'll tell you, why can't we try this place? Why can't we try this place? What about that? I learned about this and it worked here. What about if we try to do it? That's a leader talking. A manager will never care to even fail. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it would work. And it didn't work. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. The manager talking to the boss, right? I'm sorry. But what about if we try it again? Oh, we just lost some money. That's a leader talking. Because it's ready to do it. It's ready to fail and try again and again and again. What change eats your heart the most? The next one I'm going to share with you is the law of steady growth. Remember I said when I saw it, then I went to work. The law of steady growth. The principle says daily success accumulates to become an endorsed success. You don't arrive in a day, you arrive daily. You don't become successful in a day, you become daily. Success is a daily thing. It's not a day trip, it's a journey. You don't become in a day. Now, there are many people that want to be successful, and they want to be successful like the helicopter. You know the way helicopter stays like this, you know, and move like this. They just want to move like that. Now, let's compare that to the airplane. The airplane stays like this and runs and take off. Can you see this guy? And that is why, because the airplane goes through the process. Can you see the process of flight? That's the process. But the helicopter just want to do it one day. And that is why the helicopter will never go as high as the airplane. Because there is a process of becoming. We cannot skip that process of becoming great. You have to go through the process. How many of us know the bamboo tree? The bamboo tree. Oh, you know it, sir? Oh. It's common in Africa, sir. It's common in Africa. It grows, but I've not really been seeing it here anyways. Do we have it? Do we have a lot of bamboo trees?
Not a lot.
I've not been seeing it.
By the rivers.
Yeah, maybe, maybe I've not been there. I've not been seeing that. Oh, I have a lot of them in Africa. You know what? Something is so interesting about the bamboo tree. The bamboo tree seed, when you plant it, when the farmer put the bamboo tree seed in the soil, the seed takes 5 years to germinate. 5 years to germinate. Now, this is the interesting part of this seed. When the farmer is watering these same spots every day, you will germinate. And and the farmer, because the farmer knows that this seed, there is a seed here, and this seed, I know in the 50th year this seed will germinate and is going to grow. Because the farmer has a vision and an expectation of a seed of a bamboo tree that will come out from here in the 50th year. But everybody around the farmer, people around the farmer, the environment, oh my God, people around the farmer, when they're seeing the farmer, they say, oh, what are you doing? Are you crazy? You did it the first year, the second year, what? And they come there, they will show the farmer, can you see? Nothing is here. What are you doing? Are you crazy? You're wasting your resources. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your energy on this. What is going on? And everybody start talking about this guy. But this guy just keeps going. Doing the same thing because he knows that the 50th year, something will happen here. And you know what happens? The 50th year, it germinates. It comes out of the soil. And the interesting part of it is that within 6 weeks, this bamboo tree will grow 90 feet tall. Wow. Within 6 weeks. You know how tall is that? And when everybody sees it, wow, how did you do it? Oh, how? Oh, please, did you put a kind of nutrient there? Can you teach us how you did it? And everybody wants to know how the farmer, how did you do it? Let me tell you something. When you start working on your goals, that big goals that you have set for yourself, that big dream that you have in your heart, when you start working on it, when you start doing everything, and you are like you are here right now, you are feeding yourself. You are feeding that dream right now. You are feeding those big goals you set right now. Right now, you are acting like the eagle. You are acting like the lion right now because you are the king. You are in charge of your life right now. When you start doing everything, people start laughing at you. People start looking at you. What are you doing? We can't even see what they're getting. What are you people even getting at those workshops? You go there every time. You spend your money. What are you getting from it? You can't even see anything. I drive a better car than you. Yeah, you know, people compare what they can see. And the most important thing is what you can't see. The invisible thing is more powerful than the visible thing. Because when you become on the inside, it's a matter of time. It's going to reflect on the outside. It's a matter of time. When people start talking about the goals and the dreams, everything that you're doing right now, see, that's not your problem. You know your problem is when you stop yourself. If that farmer stops watering that spot, that seed will die. Don't stop. Please don't stop. Don't stop working on your goals, on your dreams. That vision you have in your heart, don't stop. Keep doing it. It's possible. It's going to work. Greatness cannot be inherited. It's a process. You have to make it happen. You have to make it happen in your life. See, you cannot inherit greatness. You cannot transfer greatness to your kids, to your children. You cannot inherit it from your parents. You have to make it happen for yourself. Greatness is not a day tour. It is a journey. You can only become great if you are committed to achieving greatness every day, every day. On your journey to greatness, you need to learn patience, self-development, and persistence. Remember, we talked about that. Persist. Don't give up. Keep failing forward. Keep failing forward. Fail forward. No problem about failing. That's okay. Successful people do what unsuccessful people don't do. If you do what others won't do, you will achieve what others won't achieve. And if you do what others won't do, you will get what others won't get. Let me rush through this. The law of association. Every relationship increases or decreases you. I don't care. Anyone. Increases you or decreases you. Everyone. every relationship. Everyone. See, there are some relationships that this is how they start. They start subtracting from you, then they will start dividing you, and they will turn you into pieces. And there are some relationships, they will first start adding to you, then they multiply you. Wow. I call those people OQP. You need to keep hanging out with those kind of people, people that can add to you and multiply you. OQP, only quality people. Only quality people, the lions and the eagles. People inspire you or they drain you. So pick them wisely. Disconnect from pigeons and ducks. You remember? Disconnect from them. You know them, you know how they talk. You know, when you get back to your work, you know how they, they gossip. They got to talk about everything. Disconnect from them. They can't think like you. They can't. Value great relationships. And these are the 4 questions I'm going to run through because I only have like probably 5 minutes. Oh. 4 questions. These are the 4 leadership questions. I have everything in my book. Very important. Who am I? Who am I? Who are you? It's a difficult question to answer. That is the question of identity, self-identity. Put it there. The question of self-identity. The next one, why am I here? That's a question of purpose. Everyone needs to answer that. Very important question. The next one, what can I do? That is the question of potential. What is your real potential? Is that 90% of people in the world today, they are living below 10% of their true potentials. What can you do? You need to find your real potentials. Where am I going in life? That's a question of vision. Where exactly are you going in your life, in your family, in your organization? Where exactly are you going? You need to find that question. What brought you here won't take you there. So you need to, you need to evaluate things. So if you know that you are somewhere, you need to reevaluate things. And every day, do this. Do the right thing. Please, can we all sound that right? Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Can we just please say it again? Every day, do the right thing. See, there is no wrong time to do the right thing. There's no wrong time. Every day, just do the right thing. Every day, commit yourself to greatness. Every day, commit yourself to greatness. Every day. Very important. Value people every day. Value people every day. Very important. Use your potentials every day. I'm going to stop. I'm going to conclude this section with this story. Very important. How many of us know that a car has almost 40,000 parts? A car, the car that you're driving right now, has more than 40,000 parts. How many of you know that? Okay, that's true. Now, can somebody tell me what is the most important part of a car? Somebody said the engine? The driver. Oh, the driver? Okay. Oh, that's interesting. The engine? Okay. You said?
The spark.
Oh, the spark. Okay. Another one. We're concluding this section with this story. Very interesting. Please, just take note of this. Oh, the engine, the spark, any other thing? Any other?
Brakes.
The brakes? Okay. Oh, thank you for that. I never thought of that. Sorry? The battery. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. If the engine says I'm the most powerful person in this car, the engine says that. And the battery says, you are only powerful if I give you power. If I don't give you power, you're useless. Okay. The plug. The spark. Say, okay, I'm very, very, very intelligent here. What are you guys saying? The spark is useless if you remove some other parts. What else? Sorry?
Cab.
Oh, the cab. Oh my God. Let's even talk about the tire as well. Somebody told me the tire. I asked the same question somewhere. Said the tires. Okay, if you remove the tires, now this is the point. Have you forgotten the wires? The $10 wires. So you think those wires are not important?
Oh, yeah.
The $10 wire that connects the battery to the engine and to the spark and to the tires and everything. Those wires, $10. We neglect them. We don't remember the engine. We remember the battery. We remember the spark. We remember those key things. Let me tell you something. Everyone is valuable. Every part of the car is important for that car to run. If you remove one part, that car will not go anywhere. Remove one tire, the car is useless. In your organization today, are you valuing people? This is what I want to leave with you today. Everyone is valuable, including that guy that is sweeping the floor, including that guy that is cleaning the toilets. Everyone is valuable. Don't look down on anybody. Everyone is important to make your organization run well. Do you value people? I want to encourage you today. As you believe in yourself, believe in other people. And always remember that everything is possible. All the goals, all the dreams, everything you have in your heart is possible. And as you do that every day, you will live your dreams, you will fulfill purpose, and you will achieve destiny. Thank you very much.